Good time of day, guys. My name is Godzi, and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi When They Cry, Ch.6 Tsumihoroboshi. Been a short while since any videos, really, since I've recorded any videos. So, sorry about that. Been a week, you know, been a little bit of a week, but I'm back. Only a bit fitting that I come back on April Fool's Day. So, that's fun. Regardless, last episode we learned quite a bit about Rena's past. Or I guess I should say I relearned because I forgot most if not all of it. Other than the part that she used to live in a place that wasn't Hinamizawa. But that's the obvious part, I guess, because that's been established since Chapter 1. But, you know, whatever. And now we're here, so, yay! We're going to continue reading, because I don't think I have anything else to talk about, so yeah, let's just go. Hey! Good morning, Rena! You're late today.
You're just early today, Keiichi-kun.
My voices might be a little rusty, because I've barely talked the past few days. I'm not trying to put aside the fact that I'm always late, but it feels good to defeat you once in a while.
Hey, I slept in this morning. I couldn't sleep last night.
Oh, you too? Same here. I was still feeling yesterday's uproar. It took me a long time to go to sleep. Although, that's probably not what Rena means. Yesterday, I had a lot of fun with my friends and went home still riding that high. I was too full to eat dinner. I kept talking with my parents about the great time I had over the past few days. I was so pumped up that I couldn't go to sleep. Kinda sounds like I'm a little kid. Well, actually, funny you say that because I forgot I do actually have something to talk about. Because I did get a comment last episode. Which gave some information that I didn't previously know. I gotta pull it up. This is unprofessional, but I forgot I got this comment. Okay. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Here we go. Oh god, why is it like that? Where is it? There it is. Okay. So, comment. This isn't spoilers at all, so I'm just going to read it. Comment from Dapper Shinx, which says, actually, while the ages are ambiguous in the VNs, Ryukishi has confirmed them in an interview, and, so Keiichi and Rena are 14. I really didn't want to believe this scale because of the Angel Mort stuff. However, I play Higurashi May, Japan-exclusive Higurashi gacha game, and there it confirms where it says occupations that they are middle schoolers. So, fuck. That is interesting. I figured there had to be a bit of ambiguity as to their ages, because, honestly, I didn't know them either. I think I've checked the wiki before, and it literally just says 1 question mark. Like, I could probably check literally right now. Hold on. I have a mechanical keyboard, so you can tell very well that I'm typing. Okay, come on, where are they? Characters, let's just click on whoever. Keiichi. Oh, no, wait, it does say 14. Okay, that must be new, because I remember in the past, it even says 13 for Rena. Oh, god. So, yeah, they're definitely younger than I thought they were. Mion must be... Oh, no, it says 14 for her also. I would have assumed that she'd be 15. So Shion would also be 14. So then, how old are Satsuko and Rika? Because I thought they were 12. No, yeah, 11 and 12-ish. Huh. Okay. And Rika... 6? Oh, 11 in 1983. I was like, 6? That's Himatsubushi. Okay, well that's interesting. It is very weird, though, thinking that they're all that young. Because, like, with all the stuff, especially, like, with Keiichi, some of the things Keiichi says, like, I remember being 14. I remember liking girls. Keiichi, I say that like I don't anymore. But Keiichi is very much, cartoonish in as far as that goes. Like, like, obviously there's some over-the-top shit in basically every story ever, and since Higurashi has its, you know, comedy moments, it makes sense that there's over-the-top stuff like Keiichi's horniness, but it's still, like, ridiculous for a 14-year-old, and it's borderline uncomfortable. So, yeah. I think what's worse about it, though, is, like, when I first watched the anime for Higurashi, I was under the impression that, like, Satoko and Rika are somewhere between, like, 7 and 10 years old, somewhere around that range, while, like, Keiichi and Rena were, like, 16, 17-ish, and then Mion and Shion, who were established to be, like, a grade level above them, were, like, 17, 18-ish. And I guess what makes it worse thinking that they aren't, and they're all, like, 5 years younger than I thought they were, is just, like, you know, the tragedies and shit that happens. Like, it's a bit, like, strange thinking then that Mayakashi happens through the perspective of a 14-year-old girl. That is very strange to think about. Because it's like, I'm not going to say that these characters feel more mature than, like, given their ages, they feel like they're technically adults. Because they don't. They still very much act like kids. But they have their moments, and I have never heard a 14-year-old say anything worth giving a second thought to. I guess it's just the crazy thing about anime, though, because there's a lot of, not just anime, but, like, stories in general, movies and shit, etc., etc., but obviously I see it happen most in anime and games. Because it's like, what's one that I can use as an example? Assassination Classroom. Aren't they all in, like, 9th grade in that show? But it's like, they feel like people rather than children. And I know that makes it sound like I think children aren't people, but to be fair, I can remember being in high school. I don't want to. You see, like, that's all it fucking is. That's all it fucking is. I remember being in high school, but I don't want to remember being in high school. And that was not even 2 years ago for me. And I'm also including the time when I was 18 in high school. There's videos on my channel from when I was in high school. Like, I'm pretty sure, I started Umineko before my senior year of high school. So, yeah, and now I'm a junior in college. So, people really do change over the years, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't feel like I've changed all that much, but I just don't want to remember high school. Not like I suffered in high school or anything, but high school is just not something that I like thinking about. But, yeah, overall, I guess my whole point here is that this story is very dark to center around a group of children, but I guess that was the point from the get-go that I just forgot. But that's besides the point, so I guess we're just gonna get back into it. And roundabout way of saying, you are a little kid, Keiichi. Alright, let's move on. But given that Rena seemed to be the same way, I felt better about it. Now, I felt better isn't the right way of phrasing it. I should say I'm glad to know that we shared the same feeling. Rena went treasure hunting after I left. I'm sure she found many adorable things, went home, and talked with her parents about how great the day was. God, this chapter is framed in such a crazy way.
Hey, Mi-chan. Good morning.
Oh, you're here early. Better watch out for the pigs falling from the sky. I know I usually make you wait for me, but do you really have to say it like that?
Keiichi-kun was unusually early this morning. Today is full of miracles.
You're one to talk yourself. It's going to be another happy day today. I had fun the day before yesterday. I had fun yesterday. So I'm going to have fun today for sure. I'm happy, and Mion is happy too. Of course, Rena and my other friends are equally happy. I'm not afraid to say it, and I wish these happy days would last, I can't read. and I wish these happy days would last forever. Hey, Mion, what are we playing today? What, for club? I don't know yet. Rena, do you have any ideas?
Let's see. We've been playing athletic games for the past few days, so I'd say something not athletic.
You're right, that's a very good point. Our club is not only about athletic performance, is it? Of course it's not. Our club members have to have brains, skill, and brawn to boot. So, why don't we play some tabletop games today? Everybody was early this morning. We could enjoy our walk to school for once. After a while, we started talking about the upcoming festival. They told me that the festival was called Watanagashi, and that it's the biggest event of the year in Hinamizawa. Yesterday, my relatives gathered at my house in Okinomiya, and they started talking about you, Kei-chan. What, me? What did the great people of the Sonozaki family talk about? Well, my uncle Yoshiro is the store manager of Angel Moore, and he saw your performance yesterday. He really likes you now. So I started asking the others if they had heard of you, and I found out that most of them did. They said you're famous in Hinamizawa. Famous? Doesn't sound like they meant it in a good way. I'm probably more infamous to them because of the punishments you made me do. It's not only that. They said that you blend in well, that you're full of energy, and that you're a little bit reckless. They said it's rare for a young man in this era to have all those qualities. They were very impressed with you. I felt a bit embarrassed to know that people I haven't even met were speaking well of me. And so, they want you to do something at the Watanagashi festival. You like to draw people's attention, don't you? Hey! Don't assume things and don't decide anything without me. Don't you know I'm a quiet, lonely guy who loves to be alone? Lonely guy? You mean lone boy, don't you?
Hey, Keiichi being a lone boy.
I don't know what that is. Do I really have to Google something? Like, this is the first time I actually haven't gotten the joke. Why does this show a lawn mowing business? Did I misspell loan? No, I didn't. When did I search for Oh Boy 3 AM? What is a fucking lone boy? It doesn't even show anything. Boy Scouts? Remove blackheads for teenage boys. Yeah, it doesn't fucking show anything. Okay, feel free to explain the joke to me because I don't fucking get the joke.
If you're having trouble with money, we can help you. How?
Okay, it was just... whatever. Whoa! Stop talking about nasty things! Ladies don't talk about things like that. What, is that meant to be prostitute then? Again, with the children thing. You know? We really were still feeling the after effects of yesterday. Mion and I made a lot of noise teasing each other on the way to school. Rena watched us and laughed happily. You don't actually have to explain the joke if it would get your account terminated for the community guidelines, so don't worry about that. Satsuko and Rika-chan were already there when we arrived at school. They were also full of energy. Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun were too. From that, I can tell that they also had a good time yesterday. Everybody has been having a good time, really. In Hinamizawa, everyone is happy. It hasn't even been a year yet since I moved here, but... it hasn't even been a month, dude. Why would you default to year? What is it? Well, I'm just glad that I moved here. What's wrong, Kei-chan? You're being sentimental.
I understand. I understand exactly how you feel. You feel like everything is perfect, that you've become happy since you moved to Hinamizawa. I think this village has some kind of power to make people feel that way.
Are you happy, Rena?
Yes, I'm happy every day here in Hinamizawa.
Yeah, me too. Hey! Don't leave this old man out in the cold! Let me in on the conversation too! The sky was clear, and the few thin clouds were pure white. The cry of the cicadas was telling me that summer would be coming earlier than usual. Watanagashi is just around the corner. I'm sure we'll have great fun at the festival, too. There will be more and more fun days to come, I'm sure of it. Summer is just around the corner. Alrighty. Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like you're gonna shift perspective soon. The last class of the day was finally over, meaning that it was time for club activities. I was sure it would be fun. I couldn't wait. But then Michan received the call and told us something had come up and she had to go. So, we didn't have a club meeting today. I was really looking forward to it. There was nothing I could do, but I could at least chat with Keiichi-kun on the way home. It'll be fun. Keiichi-kun sometimes says mean things, but he's very funny. When I chat with him, my depression goes away. Wait, what did I just say? Am I depressed? I have so much fun every day, and I'm as happy as I can be. What did I have to be depressed about? Well, that's the thing with depression, isn't it? It never really feels like it has a meaning behind it, question mark? Wouldn't really know, never really had it, but I'm just assuming based on things I've heard. Maybe I shouldn't do that, oh well. Well, it was obvious. Because of Rina-san, my father is happy now. Before he met her, he was like a lamp in broad daylight. Honestly, he was like the living dead. But after he met Rina-san, he started to smile like he used to when he was living with my mother. He enjoyed talking with her and started going out with her. You could probably say they went on dates. Now he looks 20 years younger. Rina-san gets along with my father very well, and she's very kind to me too. There's actually no reason for me to hate her. But the bitter memories of my parents' divorce and my many regrets were gradually eating away at my heart. Was it okay to accept that woman? Rina-san might be the same as how Uncle Akihito turned out to be. Is she the enemy who takes my happiness away with her very existence, with or without bad intentions? Am I going to sit around until everything collapses again? Should I fight the enemy before it's too late? Rina-san comes to my house a little too obviously. Since my father started letting her stay the night, many of her belongings have turned up in the house. My father and I don't smoke, but there's an ashtray in the living room. Well, I would hope at least you wouldn't smoke. You're 13, apparently. The futon in our guest room is hers now. In the bathroom, there's a toothbrush and shampoo I never choose to buy. I started to feel awkward about those things, and that's when I started noticing it at the front door when I came home from school. Her perfume. I asked my father once if he was thinking about getting married to Rina-san. He looked a little embarrassed, perplexed, and confused. He told me, not yet. He knew I was hurt by the divorce. That's probably why he couldn't admit that he wanted to remarry. That's why he said, not yet. He'd consider it, but not while I was still living with him. That's what he meant, I guess. There's only one reason why I don't want him to get remarried to Rina-san. I feel offended that my sanctum, my family, is being invaded. I might be being selfish, though. I know keeping my father all to myself means keeping him miserable like he was before he met Rina-san. He has a life to live, too. It's his right to heal from the pain from the divorce and to live, to find his new love. He wouldn't have had to go through that painful life if I'd prevented the divorce from happening in the first place. He has a right to a happy new life that lets him forget the pain he never deserved, and I don't have any right to stop him. In fact, I have an obligation to try to return his happiness to him. I have to pay for my sin, my inability to prevent his divorce. Then, what should I do to make both of us happy? It wouldn't be that difficult. All I need to do would be to give my silent approval of their relationship. My father tells me he won't get remarried while we live together. That means I should stop leaning on my family, be strong, and live on my own as soon as I can. Although, that doesn't mean I can tell him not to go out with her until that day. Rina-san comes to our house to see him despite her busy schedule, and she even stays the night whenever her shifts permit. They're adults. I have no right to say anything against that. That's why I chose to give my silent approval to the relationship, and tried to see her as little as I could. I get along with Rina-san on the surface. I know my father would have a hard time keeping face if we didn't. But it's a very exhausting and painful thing to get along with a person I don't really like. So, whenever Rina-san comes over, I spend as much time as possible outside, then head home late. Mii-chan's club activities are the most convenient things to do to kill time, but there are some days when we don't have a club meeting. On those days, I while away my time at the garbage dump, hunting for treasure alone. And that's how I started to make my secret hideout. My father can do whatever he wants with Rina-san at home. I don't have to see them together. I can spend my time peacefully at my hideout. I sometimes feel depressed about my life. I sometimes want to talk to somebody about it. But nothing will change, even if I talk to somebody. This is all I can really do. The most important thing for me should be to overcome the sadness of losing my family as fast as I could, and to regain my own happiness. I have so much fun every day. I'm happy every day. Even on the way home, Keiichi-kun was talking about funny things that made me laugh. My feeling gloomy in spite of that was kind of rude. My father should be happy. I should be happy. I just feel sad because I still can't separate from my father. Compared to the unexpectedness of the divorce, Rina-san's invasion is a very slow process. I think Rina-san understands how I feel. She treats me very kindly, but she doesn't do more than that. I think she understands that I'd feel uncomfortable if she did. I respect Rika-chan, because she's strong even without her parents. Compared to the pain of losing both her parents unexpectedly, my problem is like nothing. I respect Satoko-chan's toughness too. She also lost her parents and was forced to live a painful life under her uncle and aunt. Compared to the cruel treatment she had to go through, my relationship with Rina-san is a blessed one. I keep feeling anxious, but that's just because I'm still immature, and because I feel like I'm not ready to separate from my father. I have to be strong like Rika-chan and Satoko-chan. I have to try my best to be happy. I'm going to live with all of my might, in order to regain the peace of mind that I lost that day. My assumption that I'm not happy is just a mistake. I should appreciate the wonderful days I spend with my wonderful friends. Just by realizing that I'm happy, the world shines so brightly.
Listen! It's just so cute. So I screamed, I'm taking it home with me.
I bet you did. You're an expert at making the most out of every day.
I am, aren't I? I feel very fortunate to have a wonderful life and wonderful friends. How could I be unhappy?
You're right. In Hinamizawa, nobody becomes unhappy. Everybody stays happy. Hinamizawa is free from misfortunes. He should have stopped right there, but he just kept going. I'm jealous of you, Rena. I wish I could be an idiotic optimist like you.
It sounds like you're insulting me. But if that's what I need to make every day wonderful, I wouldn't mind. Would I?
I don't have any worries. I feel like I do, but that's just because I'm immature and still want my father's attention. Come on, say the magical words. It'll cheer you up. It didn't make sense to say it now, but I was going to say it anyway, because this is my magical phrase that always cheers me up.
I'm taking it home with me.
What's wrong with you? That's so like you, but still. That's right. This is me, Rena. I'm not Rena. Rena still wants her parents' attention. Rena is a goofy and carefree girl. She knows that every day is full of happiness, and she has the kind heart to appreciate it too. I should forget about icky things. I should live a wonderful life free of anything icky. Icky starts with I, and that's why I got rid of the I in Rena. I'm Rena. I'm going to recapture the happiness I lost when I left Hinamizawa. That's a weird rationale for removing the I in your name, but whatever. I will overcome any pain and hardship. I can be happy. Because I got rid of icky things. How am I supposed to pronounce that? Icky? Whatever. I'm sure there are only incredible things waiting for me. No, incredible starts with I too. I was not about to say that. Nope, I was not. This seriously feels like a weird anecdote, but, you know, I guess it makes sense if they're children. Like, I can only imagine walking around tomorrow and being like, yeah, I'm still Owen, but I removed the W from my name because, what the fuck starts with W? Why can't I think of anything bad that starts with W? Hold on. Google. Words that start with W. Just give me a random fucking word that I'm gonna pretend to hate. Worthy. Oh, that makes it sound sad. I was almost home, and when my house appeared, I noticed something different there. There was a truck parked in front of my house. There was nothing on the back of it, but I can tell that it brought something here, because I saw some cardboard boxes, blankets, and ropes on the ground. From the front of the house, I heard voices of two young men saying, "Well, we'll be going now." Okay. They passed me by as I walked towards the front door. They were wearing some kind of work uniforms. They looked like delivery people. My father was about to close the door when he noticed me.
Hey, I'm home. What's going on?
Oh, Rena. I have a surprise for you. My father looked to be in a good mood. I didn't know why he was, but whenever he smiled like that, I just wanted to smile back at him. His eyes used to look like those of a dead fish no matter how hard I tried to smile at him. But these days, he could put on a big smile just to surprise me. He has been literally coming back to life since a year ago when we moved back to Hinamizawa. No, since he started dating Rina-san. When I see him smile like this, I'm happy, but at the same time, I feel confused because I don't know whether I should thank Rina-san or not. Look! Doesn't it look great? He took me to the living room. He was probably expecting me to go all ooh and ah. So whether there was something in the living room or not, I was ready to go ooh and ah for him.
Wow. What is this? What did you do?
I tried to sound excited and surprised. He was standing behind me, probably smiling with satisfaction at hearing my excited voice. I, on the other hand, was desperately trying to understand what was going on. For a moment, I thought I was in someone else's house. You see, the living room had been completely redecorated. The furniture we had was all basically from the former house in Ibaraki. My parents bought most of the furniture when they got married, so it was all old and a little dirty. Some of them still had crayon scribbles I drew when I was very little, but all of that was gone. Everything in the living room had turned a pastel color, looking very sophisticated like the rooms you'd see in soap operas. The new carpet looked very tropical. The new curtains matched with the carpet. The new sofa looked very expensive. The living room in general looked like a resort hotel. The channel switcher of our old TV was broken, and we used to have to use pliers to change channels, but it was gone too, replaced by a new one with a big screen. The room's lights had also been replaced by nicer looking ones. The living room looked like a totally different world under the new fluorescent lights.
This looks great, Dad. What made you do this?
I did it to get a fresh start. It's been a year since we moved here. I thought it was time for me to reboot and finally start a new life. I suggested redecorating the house once in order to cheer him up, because he was still in pain after the divorce. But he wasn't interested at the time. He didn't want to get rid of the old furniture he had chosen with my mother, because he still couldn't get over her even though she cruelly broke up with him. I wanted to suggest it again when the time was right. I never thought he'd do it on his own initiative.
That was a good idea. This beautiful living room makes me feel refreshed. I love it.
I knew you would. Rena, you always wanted to have a rocking chair, didn't you? I haven't set it up yet, but look, I got it for you.
Dad, thank you. This is mine, right? Right?
Hey, this is for everybody, not just for you, Rena.
I understand, but I'm not going to get off the chair once I sit on it.
My father explained the details of his redecoration proudly. He told me that he only did the living room this time, but he's going to redecorate all of the rooms. He sure had become more active. There are some parts about the redecoration I didn't like, but I still thought it was great because it made him happy. I found the old furniture outside in the yard.
Are you going to throw them away?
Yeah, I think we should. A delivery company is coming later to pick them up. Getting rid of the old furniture means putting an end to my mother. I hated the furniture because it smelled like my mother, and I tried to break everything once. I understand why my father wants to take this opportunity to get rid of them. But, for some reason, this new living room makes me feel like I no longer belonged here. My father didn't choose the new furniture. Rina-san probably did. Most likely, my father and Rina-san decided to redecorate the living room and went to a furniture store to buy everything. I tried to think positively. The reason why my father didn't tell me about the redecoration was because he wanted to surprise me. No, my father never really considers things that deeply. So I suppose he didn't tell me because he just didn't think he needed to tell me. I'm sure he didn't redecorate the living room to make me feel like I was no longer welcome. Don't be negative, Rena. My father didn't have any bad intentions. He doesn't want to get rid of me. He doesn't think I'm the reason he can't get remarried. And yet, why did I feel sad looking at the old furniture in the yard? Why did I feel like I didn't belong? I realized the reason right away. That reason was me. To him, wanting to have a fresh start by getting rid of the things that remind him of my mother might be an indication of his unconscious desire to get rid of her daughter. My father doesn't really consider things deeply, so he might not be thinking that I'm the reason he can't get remarried. But he understands that he can't get remarried while we live together. By staying with him, I'm torturing my father. It was my fault that he had to get a divorce. That's why I have to support him, to help recapture his happiness. I couldn't just keep him all to myself. I'd have to start thinking about living on my own. I don't need to go to university. I should think about getting a job. But who would hire an uneducated girl like me? Even if somebody did hire me, I wouldn't be able to earn enough money to live on my own. Maybe I should think about working at a hostess club like Rina-san does. You are 13. People only choose the jobs they can. A girl like me doesn't have a lot of choices. Not a lot of companies would hire me or pay the amount of money that I need to live on my own. But, come to think of it, where is the place where I belong? Whenever I end up feeling like this, I miss my secret hideout in the trash piles. I love to get under my blanket and feel the warmth on a cold night. The hideout gets hot and humid during the day and very cold at night. It's not a comfortable place to spend time in. But it might be the place where I can relax the most. More than I can at my house. No, I shouldn't think like this. I shouldn't think that my house has been invaded by Rina-san. I should thank her for making my father happy. Rina-san isn't trying to kick me out of the house. She's trying to get along with me. But I'm not opening my heart to her. I'm the bad one. I'm the bad one. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Satoshi-kun and his aunt didn't get along at all, and she abused him for a long time. Compared to him, my situation is a lot easier. Satoko-chan and Rika-chan lost their parents, and they live together now. They've been through very hard times. On the other hand, I still live with my father. I should feel blessed. I shouldn't think I'm unhappy just because of these things. I am happy. I am blessed. The trouble with me is that I still can't admit that I'm happy. My father kept talking proudly about the redecoration. I nodded at him with a big smile and let him keep at it. Oh, I almost forgot. Rena, can I ask you for a favor?
Sure. And what is it?
I ordered 2 jackets from the clothing store. Seems like they came in today. I have to help the delivery company pick up the furniture, so can you go get the jackets for me?
Sure. Which store is it? I wonder what kind of jackets you got. I can't wait to see them.
No matter what they look like, I'm sure Rina-san picked them out for him. Although I don't mind going, I'd rather go to the store than listen to his stories about the redecoration of our living room. I got the receipt, asked him where the store is, changed my clothes, and left the house. I started pedaling my bicycle, and looked at the old furniture in the yard for the last time. They used to be the object of my hatred, but for some reason, they now made me feel sentimental. It's still fucking snowing outside. This is... I haven't mentioned this at all yet, this episode, but it's fucking snowing today. Like, great fucking joke, Mother Nature, but stop. Is it because I still regret the loss of my mother, even though I hate her? I couldn't let poisonous emotions take over my heart. I understood that in my mind, but I just couldn't get rid of that feeling. The old furniture wasn't the only stuff that was kicked out of the house. There was also a lot of junk that I brought home from the landfill. My father was probably going to throw that away too. He doesn't like the junk I collect. He'll probably let the delivery company take it all together with the old furniture. Just like an animal that rubs its scent on its home in order to feel secure, I collected all the junk in order to make sure that I could stay here. No, that's not it. I wanted to bring them to my house because they were abandoned by their former owners, and they needed a place to live. Dude, I get the feeling this chapter is going to get very oof ouch later, you know? Like, Miyakashi got very ouchy at times. But, you know, I feel like this one's barreling towards something very ouch. And I already know what happens most of what happens in this chapter, but my god. I'm still worried. The store where my father ordered the jackets from is a fancy boutique. It's hard to believe my father would shop at a store like this on his own. I could tell right away that Rina-san took him here. I handed over his receipt to the cashier. A short time later, the store manager came out wearing a perplexed look. Ryugu-sama, I'm very sorry, but it seems like the truck carrying your jackets is stuck in traffic. It should be here soon, though. He said that the driver called a while ago, told him he just got off the highway and would be here in about an hour. I didn't need to know all the details, but he explained them to me anyway. I asked him if I should come back tomorrow. He insisted that I should wait because the truck would be coming shortly, and he urged me to take a seat on their sofa. But I didn't really feel comfortable waiting here, so I told him I'd be back soon and left the store. I wondered if there are any fast food restaurants nearby. I might have to go all the way back to the station. I looked around and found a coffee house. The glass on the door was black, so I couldn't see inside. But there was a poster saying the price for a cup of tea is lower than normal for women on weekdays. I'd just be going to get a cup of tea to kill some time. It should be okay. But still, I hesitated to go inside before opening the door. Oh, green text now? Her first impression of the coffee house was the smell of cigarettes. Wait, is this like neutral narration? It's normal for coffee houses to be filled with cigarette smoke. It's like a requirement. But Rena still regretted her decision. Yeah, this is third person. Interesting, we haven't had third person yet. While she was thinking about leaving, the proprietor spoke to her brusquely and showed her to a table. Rena gave up on the idea of leaving and sat down. The atmosphere in the shop was far from clean. A clean, normal coffee house where you would go to simply enjoy coffee and cigarettes. It was more like a place where vulgar people would hang around. Rena didn't feel comfortable at all, but what bothered her most was the laughter of a man and a woman sitting together in the very back of the shop. And I think I know what's about to happen. Her table was behind a planter, so depending on how one looked at it, one could say she was in the spot most protected from their laughter. But Rena looked as though she wanted to leave as soon as she finished her tea. The bell hanging from the entrance door rang, letting her know a customer just came in. It was a little surprising for her that a coffee shop like this could draw in so many customers. Rena peeked at the newcomers from behind the planter. There were 2 of them. They looked like vulgar men, the kind of people you didn't want to get involved with the instant you saw them. The proprietor tried to show them to a table, but they ignored him and walked towards the back. They walked up to the couple who had been laughing loudly and greeted them with a bow. I fucking knew it. Hey! You finally made it! Sit down! The couple stopped laughing, and the man told the newcomers to sit down in a threatening tone of voice. As instructed, the 2 of them took a seat. So, what happened? We're very sorry. We tried to... Wait, are these the fucking furniture movers? Cut it, dipshit! Just hand it over! The 2 of them looked at each other before they each took an envelope out of their pockets and put it on the table. The man roughly grabbed the 2 envelopes and tore one of them open. Inside, there were many wrinkled 10,000 yen bills bound into a bundle with a rubber band. He opened the other one to make sure it also had cash in it and then threw it to the woman. Count 'em! Hey, don't order me around. This is originally my money, you know? Shut up! Just count 'em! The man yelled at the woman. She licked her thumb, looking annoyed, and started counting the cash expertly. The 2 newcomers hung their heads while she counted. Lighting a cigarette, the man waited for her to finish counting. Good. It's all here. The woman said that after flicking through the last bill. The newcomers looked relieved. The man, however, didn't look satisfied as he stared at the bundle of the bills the woman was holding. Ritsuko! How much is there? What? I told you it's all here. I'm asking you, how much is that? I told you all the money I lent them. No, idiot! I'm asking you if they paid you the interest. The man and Ritsuko yelled at each other. Even though they were making all that noise, the other customers acted like they didn't hear anything. Hey, boys! There's only 2 mil in here. What's going on? The 2 of them were trying to find some excuses to make. Seemed like this behavior had touched the man's nerves, and he started looking furious. The fuck is this? I asked you what's going on! You better start talking! His angry voice echoed through the shop. He hit the table hard and dropped a glass on the floor. The noise thickened the tension in the atmosphere. We are very sorry. Being sorry doesn't give her the interest, does it? I don't mind calling the police to solve our problem, you know. But please don't. The 2 newcomers must have been in an extremely vulnerable position. They bowed so deeply that their foreheads almost touched the table. I called y'all here because I thought you wouldn't want me to involve the police. But then, you act like you don't fucking care. We're sorry. We're very sorry. While you could pity them, the newcomers looked as vulgar as the man threatening them, making it hard to decide whether you should feel sorry for them or not. After a while, Ritsuko opened her mouth as if to offer them help. Oh my god, Teppei looks psychotic. Techan, don't be so mean to them. I'm sorry, my guy gets mad easily when money's involved. You didn't have to add the money part. I'm getting tricked because they're bitching at you. Jeez, saying those stupid things won't get you anything. The man pulled Ritsuko roughly into his arms and frantically kissed her lips without caring about the other customers. Their kiss wasn't like the lovely ones that normal couples would share. It looked obscene instead. He let her lips go to take a breath, kissed them again, and repeated that for a while. After a while, he finally got bored of kissing and let her go. He gets really mad when it comes to me, too. He's impossible. So what? This woman's like a part of my body. Putting dirt on her means putting dirt on me. Whoever tries to do that is in for a bloodbath. Do you remember the guy with the comb over? I forgot what you did to that guy after you took him outside. I remember him. He challenged me, wanted to take it outside. He said he did karate, so I got a little excited to see what he had and I punched him in the stomach. but then he just kneeled down on the ground. I was disappointed, so I took off his pants and underwear and made him clean the public toilets with them. See? I'm helping society. I deserve an award for that one. I can't believe you made him do that. You're so gross sometimes. They started laughing loudly like they were doing earlier. Their laughter obviously intimidated their companions. Listen, you two. Tachan is actually in a very good mood today. Usually he'd start yelling, "This isn't enough money," and you'd be thrown into the Oji River naked by now. We truly apologize for the inconvenience. Well, you forgot about the interest, but you did put together all the rest of the money in time. I'm impressed. So, I'll be nice and take that into consideration. You know? Anyway, his interest rate is a little high, but it's only 5 if you pay it today. If you wait even a day longer, it'll be doubled. And if it's doubled, I don't think you'll be able to pay it no matter what you do. So I'm going to make you a deal. Tachan, would you give us a minute? Sure, I guess it's okay. The man left the table with a grin and headed for the bathroom. He was far too amenable to that request, as if they planned for him to leave the table at that moment. Ritsuko made sure he was in the bathroom, then took some papers out of her bag and spread them on the table. You're young. You don't want to ruin your life because of an outlaw like him, do you? So, I recommend you pay all the interest today. If you do, you can cut your ties with him. We understand that, but we can't get 500,000 yen just like that. I understand. I bet you tried really hard to collect that 2 million yen. I understand there's no one who'd help you out with another 500,000. They must have done their very best to collect even the money they brought today. So, it must be impossible for them to collect even a dime from anybody now. They hung their heads and told her that. However, take a look. I made this for you. The guys looked at the paper on the table and muttered under their breaths. You don't need collateral or a joint guarantor for this, so the interest rate is a bit high. But with this, you can take out a loan of 500,000 yen right away. Even this interest rate is a lot better than Tachan's. What do you think? It'd be easy for anyone to guess what Ritsuko was trying to force them to do. If you show him this with your signature on it, I'm sure he'll let you off. It's your choice, though. If you need a pen, you can use mine. Here! They read the small print on the documents and were stunned by the outrageous interest rate. Ritsuko didn't force them to do anything. She just looked out the window and smoked her cigarette. After a while, the man returned from the bathroom. Hey! Did you come to an agreement? They looked at him, steeled themselves, and took the pen. They're going to borrow money to pay your interest. It's only 500,000 yen, so they can pay their debts soon if they work really hard. That's great. I'm impressed. Men get tougher when they have something burdening them. They must have planned this from the very beginning. The man and Ritsuko got what they wanted, and grinned at each other. There were many things to fill out on the documents, and it was taking them a long time. The man and Ritsuko, already knowing that, started talking amongst themselves. Ritsuko, how's your husband and Hinamizawa doing? What? He's not my husband. What's going on with him? I heard he has a lot of money. How much do you think you can squeeze out of him? Wow, he'll be so surprised. I heard his ex-wife gave him a settlement when they divorced, right? But I just found out that she gave him a lot. How much is a lot? He has about 50 million yen in the bank. He's a big spender. Wow, that's real big. So, how much do you think you can squeeze out of him? He has a big crush on me. He buys me anything I want. Anything. He's not cheap like you. I might get serious about him. I don't think so. Your body won't be satisfied with anyone but me. Oh wait, I thought that was a thinking sound. No, I'm not reading that line. So, what's the plan? I'm thinking about telling him I need some money to get rid of my ex-boyfriend. How much are you gonna ask him for? Or whisper sounds. You're a scary woman. Let me know if you need an actor for your play. I'll be your scary ex-boyfriend.
Excuse me. We finished.
Great! Then let's bring it over to the loan company. Ritsuko, take care of the check, would ya?
The man pat them on their shoulders and then walked to the door. Another person was just about to enter and they nearly ran into each other. The man probably wouldn't make way for the person considering his personality. But when he noticed who that person was, he stepped aside.
Oh, no, that explained it. I was like, who the fuck? Oh yeah, this guy who's a million fucking miles tall.
The person looked as vulgar as all the other men. He was wearing a black suit with sunglasses on. What's up, Kasai? He wasn't that big, but his stern look was very intimidating. It was clear at a glance that he was a gangster, and a professional one at that. The man who was behaving badly earlier looked a little nervous in front of him. As Ritsuko finished paying the check, she noticed the man in the suit.
Oh, General Manager? Good morning, sir. Wait, is he involved with them? Seriously?
The man in the suit said nothing. He just raised his chin as if saying, fuck off. Ritsuko and the others bowed to him and left the shop in a hurry. The proprietor noticed the man in the suit, also greeting him with a bow. Who could he have been? He appeared sedate, compared to the other men, but he must be dangerous, because he made even them step aside. Everybody in the shop thought the same thing and tried not to look at him. The man in the suit looked around and found the menu on the wall. The proprietor walked up to him hesitantly.
Hey, waiter.
Yes. Is anything bothering you, sir?
Do you have this seasonal dessert? Sweet something or other today?
Uh-huh. Oh. No, actually, we aren't running that today, but, well, if you insisted, then we could make it specially for you.
If you're not selling it, you're not selling it. I'll come back some other day.
Hey, Kasai! He said he'd make it for you. Take his offer. We came all the way here.
The girl seemed to be the only one who couldn't read the heavy atmosphere in the shop, and she came in laughing cheerfully. It was Mion Sonozaki's twin sister, Shion. Oh, I really don't trust this fucking connection and how that's gonna affect Rena. Shion pushed Kasai into the store while he hesitated. She looked at a girl who was sitting down and stopped in her tracks.
Huh? Oh, it's you! Hello, Rena-san. How are you doing? Oh, Shi-chan? I'm surprised to see you here. Huh? Are you here by yourself? You waiting for someone? Is it my sis? Or maybe, could it be Kei-chan? Shi-chan, who is this? Are you talking about Kasai here? He's like my bodyguard. He'll protect me when my life is in danger, won't you? Won't you?
I'll give my life for your sake, if that's what you want me to do.
Wow. Kasai, if you were 20 years younger, I might have fallen for you. He looks scary, but he's a very funny guy. This is Rena Ryugu-san. She's Sis's friend.
My name is Kasai. Nice to meet you.
Kasai-san, do you know the people who just walked past you?
Kasai nodded, indicating that he was familiar with them.
Who are they? I've never seen them before.
The man is Teppei Hojo, a skunk of a human being.
Shion seemed to know who he was once she heard the name Hojo.
And the woman?
Rina Mamiya. I believe that's her business name. Her real name is Ritsuko Mamiya, I think. She's a hostess at Flower Road.
Kasai-san, do you know what he is to her? They looked like a couple to me.
Hojo is Rina's pimp. They're very, very bad people, so you should never get involved with them.
How bad are they?
Oh god. A crazy-ass song is starting, it sounds like. Rena pressed him for the answer, and Kasai seemed to back down a little from that pressure.
It's more courteous to stay out of a woman's private affairs.
How bad are they?
Please don't ask.
How bad bad are they?
Rena kept asking the same question until she got an answer. Shion sensed how desperate Rena was and cut into the conversation.
Kasai, why don't you just tell her? I don't think she's asking out of curiosity. Am I right, Rena-san?
There was tension developing between Rena and Kasai. Shion seemed to be the only one who couldn't read the mood. Kasai finally opened his mouth. They're both skunks, really. I've heard that they make a living by gambling and blackmailing people. I've also heard that they set up badger games.
What's a badger game? Well, a badger game is like a marriage fraud. The woman finds a catch, a man who has money, and begins a relationship with him. Then her boyfriend shows up and catches them in the act, blames the guy for stealing his girlfriend, then blackmails him for money.
First, the woman makes him buy expensive stuff for her, and then she and her boyfriend take all of his money. There's a rumor that she's got herself a big catch recently.
Wow. Whoever that is, I'm so sorry for him. Well, the guy had some fun with her too. I guess he gets what he deserves.
That's a little harsh, Shion-san. A man sometimes falls for a woman very easily.
Oh, really? I wonder whom you fell for. Waiter, bring the dessert to us, please. Wait, where did she go?
She just took her leave. Rena was already gone. The door, which had just closed, looked as if it was the only thing that knew where she went. Oh boy. Well, shit. We're already going crazy, aren't we? I'm already terrified. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna end the episode here. So, yeah, because I get the feeling this may be a bit longer, but it could also just be 3 more minutes. But either way, I don't want to take the risk and make the episode an hour and 20 minutes when, I'm not gonna lie, Teppei killed my voice. So, yeah. That's gonna be it for this episode, guys. If you liked this episode, then be sure to press the like button, and if you didn't like it, then fuck you too. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos and stuff. And as always, my name is Godzi, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye!